this is Samantha here from RecipeThis.com and the voice behind the popular Kitchen Gadgets podcast, Magic with Gadgets. Today I'm coming to you from Rose Cottage, which is in the beautiful Yorkshire countryside. A quick short story for you. We originally stayed in this exact same cottage when we were doing our quarantine when we first moved back to England. And the first thing I cooked for the hubby on our mass groceries for our 10-day quarantine was corned beef hash in this slow cooker in this kitchen. So it's so nice to be back here doing it again for you. Well, before we dive into this recipe, I just wanted to suggest that you head over to RecipeThis.com. We've got more than 1,200 kitchen gadget recipes, including recipes for the air fryer, instant pot, slow cooker, soup maker, bread maker, microwave, Ninja Foodie and many others. We also have a free weekly newsletter which you can find on the homepage of RecipeThis.com, or you can find it on RecipeThis.com/newsletter, and there you can get our best kitchen gadget recipes sent to your inbox every Friday morning. Some onion, plenty of carrots, a couple of cans of corned beef. You know, I'm British, so it's always the canned corned beef is the ones that we're always doing. And of course, salt and pepper, some parsley, and my favourite is either butter or some sort of margarine. We prefer the I can't believe it's not butter light version, and that is absolutely delicious in it. So now I've run through the ingredients, it's time to get that slow cooker going. You want to start by doing your prep. I will try not to cry, but I can never tell with onions how strong they're going to be. So we'll see. So for your onion, however you like it, you can thinly slice it or you can dice it. It's totally up to you how you prefer it. And then that's how we like our onions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that out now. And I can start loading things in it so that my chopping board doesn't get overloaded. Excuse how battered the bottom of my slow cooker is. I'm often letting George in charge and he's terrible for using the wrong instrument and then scratching the bottom of it. And then carrots are also fantastic in a corned beef hash. You can mix and match with whatever ingredients you've got in. If you've got no carrots, you could swap it for some swede instead. And I've also done them before with parsnips because I'm absolutely addicted to parsnips. It does add quite a strong flavour to your corned beef hash, so it's totally optional if you want to do the same. You don't need too many carrots. I've got about 4 medium ones here. Oh, and it's a great way to use up your carrots if you've got loads of carrots that are looking like they're going a bit soft because they need using up. Like this one here I'm using, it's a bit soft. You can tell when you're peeling it because it doesn't really peel very well. And here's the last one. And then a medium slice is fine. Note that it depends how quick of a rush you are for your slow cooker corned beef hash. If you have pieces of carrot that are huge, then they will slow down the cooking time. And here's the last carrot. And then once you've done the carrots, it's time to do the potatoes. Any potatoes will be fine. Dominic was just kind to nip out yesterday and get me some. Oh, he's chosen the extra special range from Asda, so the nicest one, okay. And these are really big ones, but they're perfect for a very quick peel for using in your corned beef hash. And then try to go for cubes if you can for your potatoes. because you want them to go lovely and soft and delicious when they cook in the slow cooker. And then it's totally up to you how many potatoes you add. And it depends how many mouths you're feeding, because if you're feeding quite a few mouths, it's better to add extra potatoes, because then it keeps it nice and cheap for you for a quick family dinner. Do another one. Oh, and another idea, head over to recipethis.com and search for corned beef, because we've also got recipes for corned beef stew, and best of all, for homemade pasties using leftover corned beef hash. I mean, they are absolutely delicious, and they only take a minute or two to prep, and then you can cook them in the air fryer. And then I like that for a portion of potatoes. So that's 2 very big potatoes. Let me just see if there's any big bits I want to trim down a bit. No, I'm happy with those. So now you've done your carrots, your potatoes and your onions, it's time to add the seasoning. Good bit of salt. Good bit of pepper. Parsley, I absolutely love parsley. It's delicious in a corned beef hash. And then what I suggest you do is you get a spoon for adding in your margarine. Oh, this is a brand new one, I didn't realise that. Some spoons here. It's always weird when you're in someone else's kitchen and not your own, because you have to go looking for everything. So that's the kind of dollop that I suggest for that when you add it in. But first, get your hands in there. Mixing that. Let me show you it actually. I think that was in shot. So once you've given it a good mix, then what you can do is add some dollops of this on top. This makes it absolutely delicious, because it's like that butter margarine flavour that goes into the potatoes, and it just makes them so soft and lovely. And then it's ready for the slow cooker to go on. So place the lid on your slow cooker. And you're looking for starting off with a cook time of 2 hours on high. The idea here is that the potatoes and carrots take quite a while to soften. So you're cooking those first before you're adding in your cans of corned beef. So the slow cooker has done 2 hours now with our carrots, onion and potatoes, so that they can get a bit softer before we add in the corned beef. So, a bit of steam there, unfortunately. That's just normal. And then of course I'm mixing in all that lovely, I can't believe it's not butter. And then once you've done that, it's time to add in your corned beef. Dominic was so nice as to empty out the cans, because I either always cut myself or I can never wind them up properly. Remember, they are very sharp if you're using them. Any brand will do, of course. We're using just the cheaper corned beef cans from Aldi, which are fantastic, and that's what we did in our last corned beef hash. You know, I mentioned earlier that corned beef hash was the first thing we made when we came back to England. And you're probably thinking, oh, that's weird, all those ingredients are readily available. Well, in Portugal, corned beef or cans of corned beef like this cost an absolute fortune. And it's no longer that wonderful, cheap, old school recipe favourite once you've done them on Portuguese prices, unfortunately. And that's obviously because they're importing it. It's not a natural food that they have in Portugal. I mean, they take offence to the fact that we use tin tomatoes, so you can imagine they would never have anything yummy like corned beef. So then if you just want to cut it up and scatter it in there. I've done it with both 1 can of corned beef and 2 cans, and I found that because of the way it mixes in, that 1 can, it doesn't feel like it's got enough in there. And also, this is also brilliant if you've got some leftover corned beef that you want to use up as well. It doesn't just have to be out of the can if you don't want it to be. It's totally personal choice. You can also follow this recipe with any of your normal beef leftovers as well. Swapping the corned beef for something else. And then just give it a quick slice. Oh, I just say how much I love corned beef. My granddad used to always make me corned beef hash. I used to love it when I was growing up. Right, so once you've added in all your corned beef, you want to give it a quick stir. So the slow cooker is done an additional 90 minutes. So that means it's done 3.5 hours to cook a slow cooker corned beef hash using canned corned beef. And now let's take a look. And as you can see, that is absolutely perfect corned beef hash. If you like your corned beef hash, then this will impress you. And the greatest thing is, because it did that first 2 hours, it gave the potatoes and the carrots ample time to cook. For example, look at that potato, it's perfectly soft. About the carrots, oh yes, carrots, those are perfect carrots. So next, dish some up. My kids will be impressed. We're doing this video while they're at school and they absolutely love corned beef hash, especially if I serve it with some baked beans as well. So let's try some, shall we? I love corned beef hash. It like takes me back to childhood. That is so nice. It really doesn't need much seasoning. It's just perfect for something that you can quickly throw in your slow cooker. You know, you've got your leftovers the next day for air fry pasties, and it's just one of those one pot slow cooker recipes we should all be making more often. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to the Recipe This family. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook and Pinterest. We also have a weekly newsletter at recipethis.com/newsletter, where we share with you our latest kitchen gadget recipes, what we're cooking in the Milner kitchen, and so much more. As well as this, we recommend that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and then whenever we have a new video, you will be the first to know. And if you want to know about all our future videos, then I recommend you hit the bell for instant notifications. But even better, we now have a podcast. It's called Magic with Gadgets. Simply search Magic with Gadgets on your favourite podcast player and you'll find us there.